New World Patch 2.0.4 is here, and I think it's trying to fix Desync, as well as bringing with it the Siege of Sulfur. So let's jump into the notes. There's not a lot of it, but I think it's important nonetheless. So yeah, as I said, this is patch 2.0.4, and there is a new time for the patches that are a little bit earlier than normal. So the reason I mention this is because Rafflebones, you're going to be able to like kill him the 3 times today. And if you're very early tomorrow in EU, before 6 AM, but like after the reset, you should be able to get it, but it's such a small window that I don't think most people will get that. And actually, if you're watching this in Pacific time, then it's actually tonight for you guys, so today is literally the last day that you can get Rafflebones. But for EU, it's literally first thing tomorrow at 6 AM UTC. And yeah, it's going to bring Siege of Sulfur, which is a 10 plus max event. I'm pretty sure you can probably do it in 20, right? And I think it's going to be quite heavily farmed. If I'm honest, possibly not necessarily because the rewards are great, although I think there's actually a live staff that's really good, but mainly because there's a chance of getting good transmog items, whether it be from the global named list, whether it be from the brimstone list. There's a few named items that have like cool appearances, and actually the more eggs that you defend, the better the chance of you're getting like better goods. So it all makes sense. And actually if you do it 3 times a day, you get extra rewards. You get umbral shards, a chance of like these actual named items, so the live stuff that we just mentioned, as well as a sandwurm egg and a 2% chance of a skin, which, you know, the less times that you get it, no, that's not true, the more times you don't get it, the higher your chance of you getting it next time. I didn't really record my footage on the PTR, but it's a pretty interesting event. You like have like several eggs, and it's basically several waves that come and try and destroy the eggs. You gotta save them. They've also done like a cool video to show off the store items. This now has a lot more interest for a lot of people since transmog, and I have to say I really like the look of the store items that they've got there. But yeah, they've done like a little cool video. I'm not going to show you here, but they've done a little cool video. And then on to the release notes, and the first one I want to talk about is literally this top one here, because I think it's Desync, the one that we're all experiencing like Outpost Rush and in the open world. So basically they say this: client performance. We previously capped the number of sounds in high density player scenarios. These limits were bypassed when developing new content, which reduced the game client performance in any scenario with more than 5 players. This is basically a lot of people experiencing it in OPR. And they say most players should now see improved client performance during PvP and heavy PvE game modes as a result of reinstituting those audio limits. So basically they had some limits and then they made some content and the limits went away. I wonder if that's some content in the background that's for the expansion, because it happened at like 2.0.2 and I'm not really sure what came with that patch. I can't really remember. Either way, this sounds like a lot of the desync might actually get fixed, which also explains why it wasn't in the Q&A answer, because they already had a fix that they were working towards, but they didn't really know when it was coming. Either way, if this does fix desync and everybody's happy with it, great. It's a little bit sad that it slipped through the cracks and it's taken this long to fix, because for me it was a very, very important issue, but at least hopefully it's now addressed. There's a couple of other things apparently, like there's this quest that's been like sorted. I've no idea what it is, can't remember, so yeah, that's one thing. They've updated a couple of icons for transmog. Player characters now see updated icons. I literally didn't realize that the icon might be different. It's not something I've ever even considered. They've updated some of the icons. There was one I got absolutely debated the other day, and I don't necessarily know if it's on this list, but I got absolutely debated by a really cool looking helm in the PvP reward track, and I bought it, and then when I put it on, it looked absolutely nothing like it. Sad times. And they've improved basically the error message if you do get an error for one of these reasons. There's a couple of changes to the spear. Invigorating Crids, they've added a 0.1 second cooldown to prevent it from triggering more than once per attack. Funny. And the Invigorating Combo, they reduced the target limit from 4 to 2, so it can now only trigger 2 activations per use. I'm not a big PvP spear user at the minute. I'm sort of just playing my classic bruiser because I can't bother getting good gear or anything like that. I'm guessing that's a nerf to the spear that was probably needed. Apparently they've made it better so that like if 3v3s they don't have enough people in the arena, then they'll actually just auto like fill this gap. I'm pretty sure I'd seen that before. It might be the second time they've written this note, but okay, good. Fixing issues that like prevented trophy buffs from being applied. I mean, we've seen that many times, and some decorations to replace more times than intended. Hopefully this is like the actual end fix for this issue, where trophy buffs just like go away when they shouldn't, because it's a stupid bug. Oh, this one I'm actually intrigued in. Apparently they fixed an issue that allowed other players to appear when using the Stylemancer change skin menu, and I even realized that was a bug. Basically, sometimes other people would get in your way and you couldn't quite see what you were doing, so I would just move them out of my way in a way, but actually they should just disappear. Okay, that's interesting. Apparently there was an issue that allowed you to gain more experience when you had bulk leveled your trade skills. Didn't know it. You know, if I did, maybe I would have used it. Pretty sure this is the second time I've seen this patch note. I think this issue is that if you craft a legendary, it counts for the like crafting 10 of them. Not 100% sure. I haven't bothered even crafting with the golden scarab. I just can't be bothered. A couple of little things, but nothing major. There's a couple of known issues, but again, nothing major. And then they just do like a community spotlight, which to be fair is quite cool. You know, quite a few little like interesting outfits. Literally, that one looks like they've taken that screenshot. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like something somebody has done, but it does look really good actually. Then at the bottom they have the community Q&A, but we've already seen that and talked about that. But yeah, the main thing is Siege of Sulfur. Probably like primarily its main use here is transmog, but it should be farmed because you get rewards all the time, and then for your first 3 you get better rewards basically. And then possibly the client performance, like that could be huge. Let's hope it actually is client performance improvement and not getting worse, because we've seen that before. Good changes. Let's hope everything works. I'll be live on Twitch when this goes live, as long as Twitch actually sorted its issue out, because there's like some weird issue where there's 2 categories. Hopefully that's sorted. Again, not really changes to the Patreon members yet, but the Patreon is growing. I really appreciate you guys. And again, big shout out to anybody who currently is or has been a YouTube member. And as I said, you can come and follow me over on Twitch. I'll be streaming first thing tomorrow. I'll be streaming when this patch goes live. Have a beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.